is.
There it is. There it is.
Pair it with the Pinot.
With the Pinot.
That's the pork
Open the bottle of
ribeye.
Pinot, and you've got your pork ribeye, and it is from Rastelli's, our #1 food brand here at QVC. But just come and look at your screen because it is super juicy.
That is juicy.
And it is edible. You're eating every single bite of this 6-ounce premium pork ribeye steak. Do you see how it's cutting? Cuts like a steak. That juiciness, the flavor, the tenderness. This is not a pork chop, even though pork chop and applesauce we like to say, right? This is not that. If you've never had a pork ribeye steak before, this is where you want to come because this is the best of the best. So Ray Rastelli is here, but let me share with you what the offer is. And I will share with you that every single time these come on air, they fly out of here. So they sold out since their last time on air in February, my friends, February. So we're now in July. So if you've been missing them, they're back. $22 on that 5 easy payments, over 500 5-star reviews. So $22 on that 5 easy payments, ships to you for free. You're getting all 20 of them. They are individually vacuum sealed, so you take out what you need at 6 ounces. You know that they are over a quarter of a pound.
And look at the marbling.
Heading on into the half a pound territory, and you're eating this end to end, my friends. M81589. There is an auto delivery on this every 90 days, and the easy pay on this goes away at the end of the day. I am gonna say to Ray Rastelli, you brought these to us, and I'm just gonna ask, as a butcher for 47 years, I keep making this number up. 47 years. I know that pork ribeye is probably loved in your shop. Did you know that they were going to be such a hit when you brought them here at QVC?
You know, we didn't, Rachel. I'll tell you a funny story. I brought them on and I said, well, we've got pork chops to be able to show our customers because I know how the folks at the butcher shop love them. And the QVC guest thought, well, it's a pork chop. Well, it's a pork ribeye steak. That's what the difference is.
Correct.
And if you look at this right here, this is the key. This is a prime rib of pork, right? When you start with a prime rib of beef, we all know the flavor, the texture, the tenderness. They get the same out of that prime rib of pork. So you can see it's a beautiful rib. It's got beautiful marbling throughout the entire rib. And of course, it's 6 ounces, but we trim every ounce of fat off of here. It goes from end to end. So that 6-ounce portion is really big and versatile. And this is the best part about it, Rachel. With a fork.
Right.
Every single
As you
one,
come up here, you'll
right?
see.
Every one with a fork. We don't even need a knife, right? And I think, you know, the folks with 500 5-star reviews,
right?
I get people who call me and say, Ray, I use it for everything. What I used to use for veal or for chicken, I just use this pork now because it's more tender.
Right.
It's incredibly flavorful and really, really juicy.
Oh.
And again, so easy to prepare and so versatile, as you said. These are 6 ounces, and you can individually vacuum sealed. You bring out what you need. But again, I feel like there's like an educational component because people usually do pork chops. Why is it that we only know pork chops and not a pork ribeye? Like, what is a pork chop then?
Well, a pork chop comes from the loin, but again, the loin is a piece that's really, really lean, right? So you don't get that marbling in it. Whereas with the pork chop, pork ribeye steak, you get that beautiful texture inside there. And of course, you can treat it just like a steak. That's why I call it a pork ribeye steak. But Rachel, you can treat it just like a pork chop. If you want to bread it, if you want to do it in your air fryer, if you want to pound it out like we did here, I mean, think about how you take something. This is one piece, right? We just took one piece, pounded that out, breaded it, and I mean, I've got a meal there for minimally 2. I mean, it's really a big piece.
Easily. Add some, creamed potatoes and some asparagus. I know that we've got a bed of lettuce over there that you're going to put some pieces on.
This is really one of the most tender cuts of pork
that you've ever had.
Sink your teeth into. It almost melts in your mouth. It's that tender, right? And it's, by the way, I will tell you this, Ray.
Juicy.
It has such a great flavor,
right?
Like, and it's not that he pre-seasons it for you. It's not that he injects it with anything. It just has this beautiful flavor, right? There's almost like this, I've never tasted it with regular pork before, right? Like a pork chop.
You know, we always talk about the origin of the pork. This pork comes from the Pennsylvania Dutch country. Now, unlike beef, right, we don't want to age pork. We want pork as fresh as could be.
Yeah.
We bring it into the butcher shop, we cut them in these beautiful pork steaks, and when you get them, as Rachel showed, they're all individually vacuum packed. And that's really, really important. The reason we do that is because vacuum packaging seals in all the freshness, right? You think about getting that pork steak at home and you can do anything with it. But every one will be trimmed just like this. You can see there's no fat on this.
Nope.
We've trimmed the fat completely off. You'll eat from end to end, whether it's a pork steak, whether it's a pork chop, whether it's for fajitas, for salads. There's so much you can do with this. This is one of those steaks that I've got to always have
And
in
you
my
know,
freezer.
not for nothing, they're also really easy to cook.
They are.
Yes.
They really
Yes.
are. Like sometimes, you know, like you can go and buy like a really big expensive steak or whatever, and you don't know how to cook it, right? And it's all of a sudden like, you know, you're on the grill and you're burning one side and the other side's underdone. This, it's the perfect size, it's the perfect shape, it's the perfect flavor. It's the perfect portion. So whether you're, you know, eating it all yourself, or maybe you're splitting it in two, right? Like, or something like that,
Sharing
you
it,
can
yeah.
totally do that. But today is the day to get these home at this featured price, because it's usually more money than this. And we have it for you on 5 payments of $22 on a credit card. And with the auto delivery, you can get it every 90 days for a full year.
Well, I'm going to put that in context, because if you come over here and look,
There's
you're feeding
20.
20 people for $109.
we never do 20.
Where? No, literally, that's $5.48.
It's a crazy price.
Per. You can't, and by the way, speaking of like those sandwiches, if you had a bun, mayonnaise, put this on here, a piece of lettuce, and a tomato, you have a premium pork ribeye steak sandwich for $5 and change, right? And again, 20 people, your 20 favorite friends, as you're grilling, you've got the grill out, it's, you know, grilling season. And I will tell you, Ray, that this is what like brought me to the pork side, because I only grew up with pork chops with the bone in. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah,
I was
and-
like, I actually don't like those very much. I don't
Yes.
care for
They're
them.
dry
And
usually.
And they are dry.
That is right.
They are dry, and
they're
this is not.
Because they're so lean. And remember, you only have to cook this pork to 145 degrees. Let it stay juicy inside. Because when you can take a fork and you can cut right through the center of your pork steak, just like
You
that,
can never do that with a pork chop.
your guest will absolutely go crazy when you actually put this on the plate for them. And for barbecue, I love this right on the grill with a little brush of barbecue sauce. And I've got something that's just simple as could be.
Listen, between this and
yeah.
the burgers that we had on earlier in the
Yeah,
show with
we
Ray,
got you hooked
you
up.
are set for any grilling occasion this summer for your family and your friends. It's like really fantastic.
Thank you so much, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
you.
You're the best.
Put these
Thank
in
you.
your
Appreciate
cart.
it.
Check out. Do check out so you get this.